Sneakerheads can be some of the most confusing people on planet Earth. We practice some of the most absurd things and it doesn't make any sense. One of them is the idea of collecting sneakers just so they can sit on the shelves. What is the point of collecting sneakers? I thought personally it was to wear them. I wear every single pair of sneakers I own, or at least I wore them at some point. I know people have beaters in the collection. There are literally people that spend thousands of dollars on sneakers just to let them sit on the shelves. This is the dumbest thing that a sneakerhead can do. We literally live in an age where hype and value mean more than anything else, guys. Monetary value means more than fashion to most people. We have people who literally have thousands of sneakers in a room sitting in plastic containers that they haven't touched in years. There are people that need apps just to remember when the last time they wore a sneaker was. Isn't that kind of sad? At a certain point, isn't enough enough? What happened to loving a sneaker? What happened to actually wearing a sneaker, making outfits with a sneaker, challenge yourself to incorporate something into your wardrobe? Most people forget they have sneakers in their collection, guys. It's gotten to the point where people own every single Jordan 4, every single Airforce. It's like they're literally StockX. They have an inventory of shoes. They have become Foot Locker in a lot of ways. How many sneakers do you have in your collection? Most people would say anywhere from like 10, 20. Me personally, I have probably like 22 good sneakers that I wear in my collection. I try to wear my sneakers every day. I try to make sure I don't wear the same sneaker twice in a row just because I want to show love to every sneaker in my collection. Do I have some grails? I guess. I own a pair of like Yeezy Wave Runners. Those are like my grails because I love them a lot. But as far as like monetary value goes, I don't have a lot of sneakers that are worth thousands of dollars, $2,000. And if I did own a sneaker that was worth that much, personally, I would just sell it and buy a rep. I'm just going to be real with y'all. What is the point of having something that is that much in value, guys? Like, I wouldn't pay for something that has no inherent growth value, if that makes sense, right? Like, a lot of people collect watches and Rolex. They grow every year. They're not going to make another one, et cetera, et cetera. But we have to understand that a lot of this is man-made value, right? A lot of things like gold, diamonds, and stuff like that, those are all man-made value. At the end of the day, we place the monetary value on these objects at the end of the day. And a lot of people look at sneakers as investments. Investments as what? Investments into the future. It's a great way to grow your financial portfolio if you know how to resell sneakers. Like, a lot of people will buy sneakers for a low price, flip them, and that's how they create their collection. That's great for them. You know, everybody does what's best for them. I just don't understand the practice of like, let me buy a sneaker, hold it for years and years and years in the hopes that the value goes up, or let me spend $10,000 on a sneaker and justify it sitting in my room for years and years on end just so I can see the value potentially grow up. Like, dude, you could have put a down payment on a house, sold the house, and made more money. So I don't want to hear this argument that like, oh, sneakers are a great way to grow investments. If you're somebody that resells sneakers, I assume that most successful resellers probably have other financial portfolios that they have, whether it be houses, stocks, something else, another business, a clothing line or something. Like, anyone with some form of money knows that multiple streams of income are the best way to grow a portfolio. And most smart resellers know that the best way to make money off a sneaker is to get it off your hands as quickly as you can for a fair value, guys. Most people you see at like these got soul events or everything, right? They haven't been holding on to a sneaker for like 15 years and just like, I refuse to sell it because yeah, I'm just going to wait until the value goes up. That's a dumb practice. Something can be worth a lot of money today, and then tomorrow it can plummet. Look at Bitcoin, look at other cryptocurrencies, you know what I'm saying? Like my point is that like finances and trends in a market can change at any time. So the idea of like holding on to a sneaker, a man-made object which has no inherent change or value, is a dumb practice. And you know what's funny? You even have the people who hate on reps who will buy reps just so they don't have to wear their grails. Like, they'll buy rep Travis Scott Fragment 1 just because they don't want to wear their real Travis Scott Fragment 1s, and they look almost identical. So what's the point of spending all that money for the actual sneaker? I can understand if you got something for retail, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to protect its quote unquote value. But honestly, you have to understand that, like I said earlier, like, these values will change over time. There's nothing guaranteeing that one day the Travis Scott Fragment 1 won't just plummet to a resale price of $300 just because that's how things go. Look at Yeezys. Yeezys were selling for like thousands of dollars until they re-released a lot of them, until the whole beef with Adidas and Kanye happened. Now it's gotten to the point where you can get foam runners for like $100 off of StockX just because the climate changed. So if you're not wearing your sneakers, you're not selling your sneakers, and you're just letting them sit and collect dust, What is the purpose of all this? So you have something to look good in your YouTube videos and your TikTok videos? Like sneaker culture has changed in a sense where like it is a divide. Like there's people that either collect and resell, or there's people that just like it for the fashion. They like it for the art. Most people don't really care for the expensive, over extravagant collections, because nowadays there's so many alternatives to getting sneakers that you can't impress me with your Air Max. You can't impress me with your Air 2 Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just baffles me that a lot of y'all like still practice and let me just have this sit here for years and years and years and years. Like, some of y'all have been holding on to sneakers since 2008, bro. You haven't paid off your house. You haven't paid off your car, but yet you got a $25,000 sneaker sitting in your basement. Come on, make it make sense. And then the amount of money that people invest into these sneaker rooms and to get storage units and to get all these fancy items, these LED lights for sneakers, which is great. If you wear them, you love them, you make content with them, you have other sources of income, that's good for you. But there's some people who just do it just to impress the internet. Why? I don't understand. You're not impressing anybody, bro. That sneaker hasn't made you any money. Those Kanye babes that are sitting in that plastic box, how much money have they made you? Yeah, you could sell them for money, but you don't. You just let it sit there. And even when you let it sit there, it's still exposed to the chemicals in the environment. Like, no matter what, those sneakers are eventually going to get older and older as time goes on. I don't care if you just let them sit in a box or whatever. Unless they're wrapped in plastic, they're not going to stay perfect forever. At the end of the day, a lot of us sneakerheads create artificial value and abide by fake rule sets. It's okay to wear reps when you own the real sneaker, or you should only wear sneakers that cost less than $200 outside. If you're wearing a Grail outside, you're destroying the value, you're turning into beaters. It's a dumb thing to do. Like, dude, just do what works best for you. I just can't adopt the idea of, oh, let me buy a bunch of expensive sneakers and let them sit in the hopes that the value will increase over time. You could argue that nowadays, with the availability of reps and other sneaker brands becoming more popular, like New Balance, Asics, hell, even Fila's may be able to have a chance someday, that a lot of people are starting to realize, like, hey, you know what? Why would I spend all this money on one sneaker when I can get a bunch of other sneakers for a much fairer price? The only people that are spending $10,000 on sneakers are people that are reselling sneakers, and you're selling to other resellers. And, you know, it's just a market manipulation game at the end of the day. So I hope that you guys start to realize you can just wear your sneakers outside, make a goofy fit, let people laugh at you, make a fire fit, inspire other people on Instagram, or do something with the sneaker, make some content, make some videos, make some money off the sneaker. But geez Louise, just don't let them sit there and collect dust, or you're a dummy.